Welcome to Blue Koala Office Solutions. We are here to help you grow with competitive rates and reliable sources, allowing you to expand and develop in an efficient way. Why do you need a virtual office address? Perhaps you're working from home, but you don't want to use your home address. You may be an expanding business and are looking to attract businesses in Newport and or Cardiff. Are you looking for an address you can register with Google and SEO? We offer flexible short-term agreements, super high-speed fibre, 24-hour access and security, meeting room for up to 6 people. We are located in Whitchurch, Cardiff, with easy access from M4 and A470, and as well as the meeting room, we also have a podcast studio and a film studio that you can rent on an hourly basis. We have created a cozy hidden gem where businesses can come together to brainstorm, as well as having a professional environment. So if you would like to find out more, get in touch. info@bluekoalaofficesolutions.com.
Hello and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Live at 5.
Today we have a very special subject, which is really close to my heart and the rest of the team here at Senior Band's headquarters. It's all going to be about commercial utilities. So who have we got today, Jamie?
I wouldn't say it's close to my heart. What I would say is that I'm constantly looking at our smart meter and I'm seeing that little arrow go over to the red and it terrifies me.
And then it turns off the kettle.
And then I turn off the kettle, I come out, I unplug Luke, I turn off all the heaters. Believe it or not,
there's lots of blankets for the office.
Yeah, so God help us in the winter.
We've got to get this guest out because I want to find out how we can kind of get this under control.
God help us. I know who can help us. It is, of course, Graham De Vall from Ecoways. Graham, welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you back in the studio.
Well, hello, Jamie, and hello, Charlotte. And it's fantastic to be back here again. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you for your time, because I know you're really busy at the moment.
Yeah, so, should we talk about commercial utilities?
Yes, let's.
Where do we start? Where do we start with this subject at the moment? I mean, we've done a show with you recently around domestic utilities, which is really interesting, and it's one major worry. But utility bills rising can be a real profit sucker for commercial businesses. So how can you help? What's out there? What can we do about it?
So you're right. You know, commercial utilities is a different kettle of fish to domestic. So as a domestic customer, we're protected in our households by the government price cap. So domestic utilities can't go above the government price cap. That doesn't exist in the commercial world. And in effect, commercial utility companies can charge you what they want, especially if you're not in contract. So the best thing to do if you're got a commercial energy bill is make sure you're not on out of contract or deemed rates, what they call deemed rates, because you will be paying over the odds. Very difficult at the moment. Back in August 2020, we were talking about gas prices about 40 pence a therm. Today, they're over £5 a therm.
Wow.
So you are seeing in those 2 years, and that's why the market has gone where it has, all the global effects that have happened over the last 2 years. I don't want to be political, but there's world events going on that has pushed that price up. Supplies are being restricted, and that's just kept the price high.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you know, we have to understand, and we were talking about this on a show that we did recently as well, around, you know, the war in Ukraine. I mean, you know, we've got to mention it because that is predominantly what's causing this issue, and it's what's really driving those prices to go up. But taking all of that aside, how can you personally help us to look into this, investigate this, navigate our way through this crisis at the moment?
Certainly. So I'm work closely with a company called Full Power Utilities. They are a specialist consultancy, and as I said, I'm an agent for them. So what I can do for you is I can look at your bills and glean the information that we need to be able to go to the market and see how we can improve the deal you're currently on. What I will say is that if you are in a contract at the moment, don't get out of it. Don't break that contract. You know, one, it would be very expensive to break a commercial contract anyway. But two, while you're in contract is probably the best place for you to be at the moment. What we can do is look for when your contract ends, we can look to see the next deal for you.
Yeah.
I would say that now's not that if your contract's still got 6, 9, 12 months to run, don't worry about it. Just, you know, you're in a contract, you know what your expenses are going to be going forwards for the next 6, 9, 12 months. And the market at the moment, we wouldn't want to put a deal in for then at today's prices, because we'd hope that the market comes down. But who knows? It's finger in the wind time. And yes, the market could well go up, but at the moment, you'll be hard pressed to find a commercial supplier actually quote you.
Yeah.
What do you do if you're having difficulties with your supplier because you're quite a small sort of commercial site and they don't really want to take anyone on at the moment, or they kind of want to put you on really high cost because you're not that valuable to them? That kind of happens at the moment. So what can you do what do you do in that situation?
We can look at the market and see where would be a best fit for you, and if we're not able to get you a really good deal like that, there's always available commercial comparison sites. So if you go onto some of the domestic comparison sites, there will be a business commercial comparison site there. So you can do your own legwork if you want. It's not always the best case, but I am seeing some people do that because I'll be perfectly honest, the market is so busy at the moment that we're not able to keep up with the demand. You know,
it's quite volatile at the moment. I mean,
very.
The quotes are coming in within 20-30 minutes. They're not standing anymore.
They're being taken off.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing quotes lasting less than a couple of hours. Whereas beforehand, you know, last couple of years, we've been able to give the customer a raft of quotes and say, these are good for 24, 48 hours, 3 or 4 days sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But now that's down to hours. You know, suppliers are quoting, if they are quoting at all. There's some days where they won't quote at all because the market's very volatile on that day.
Yeah.
But where quotes are coming through, the client has to make the decision within, I won't say minutes, but within hours. It's that volatile.
Scary time. It's scary times. And of course, like you said, there's no government cap on this. So, you know, let's just talk a little bit about how you get involved, because obviously within the commercial side of it, it's quite simple. You are the supplier effectively. You go to the customer, you transfer them to your supplier, X, Y, and Z, done. Commercial, very, very different. You're almost acting as the broker, aren't you? So you broker the deal rather than, and it could be with all of the market, it could be with anybody. Do you act then like for us, do you act as our agent? We give you permission to deal with all of our facilities, if you like, and then you go and broker it. Is that
yes,
how it works?
Yes, exactly. We ask you to sign a letter of authority, which basically gives us the power to go and contact all the commercial suppliers and get quotes on your behalf.
Okay.
We then provide you or put those quotes in front of you, and you make the choice. You know, we don't advise you which ones to take, that's down to you. You could be looking for the cheapest, you could be looking for green energy, you could be looking for a raft of different things that fit your business.
Yeah.
So we will find you those quotes based on your criteria. To be honest, most times it is the cheapest, because we're all in business to make a profit. If we can cut the expenses, reduce our expenses, then our profit line goes up.
Yeah.
So we give you a list of quotes, you make your decision, we contact the supplier and arrange that contract for you. And then once we've arranged that contract, then we will look after that portfolio for you. So you might be, like yourselves, a single site with a single meter, or you might be a large chain of hotels, restaurants, whatever, building sites, and you might have lots of different sites and lots of different meters. So what we can do is manage that for you, bring everything into line. The more sites and the more meters you've got, the bigger your consumption is across your business. But traditionally, suppliers have looked at each individual site and priced accordingly. What we're able to do is look at your business as a whole and the amount you're using as a whole, and genuinely that does bring in a better quotes for you, because you're using a higher volume.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's interesting. I'm not going to lie, right? This is just not something I want to do with my life. I'd much rather get you to do it, okay?
yeah.
So if you are like me, who thinks of utilities and contacting utilities and sitting on the phone for hours and then trying to get hold of someone, I got to admit, it's not for me. So we employ someone like Graham, who comes in and does it all for us. So Graham, if someone's watching and they want you to do it all for them, how can they get hold of you?
Well, the easiest way is through the See No Bounds website. I'm on social media, so I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter, and I have my own website, which is ecoways.co.uk, or give me a call. I'm happy to have a chat over a coffee and see how I can help you.
Fantastic. So from a massive thanks with my co-host, the lovely Charlotte, and of course, our amazing guest, Mr. Graham De Vall. Thank you very much. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the See No Bounds platform. So today I'm going to show you about how you can manage, edit, invite, or even delete the group that you've created. So what you would do now normally is you would go to the top of the screen, you would have logged in by now, you would have clicked the little icon at the top of the screen, the drop down would have come down and you would have clicked Profile tab. Then on the Profile tab page like this, you would then click Groups. That would then bring you to this page. Now, you may have seen in a previous video, I actually created this particular group, the All Things Financial Services. It's a hidden group and that currently I am the only member of that group as well. But that's okay, because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can manage and edit and delete the group itself. So there's no events connected to this group, but if I was to create an event, I could literally put that into the events board, click that I wanted in this group, and anybody in this group would be able to see the events that I've created. I can see what members are in the group by coming here, and by doing that I can then actually go and visit those members, I can connect with them, interact with them, send them a message, etc, etc. I can invite new members to the group simply by coming over here and clicking the invite button. And I can manage my group with the Manage tab. Now in here I can change all the settings of the group, so I can make the group from hidden to public, for example. I can change any photos on there that I want to, or I can change the cover image, I can select the members, but of course what I want to do today is actually delete it altogether. So I'm going to click the delete button and let's see what happens. So the next thing that comes up is this symbol here. This is really good because it means that you are not going to delete it by accident. You have to click the I understand the consequences of deleting this group. Once a group is deleted, there is no way of recovering it. And once you've done that, you simply click delete, and that is that group gone. And as you will see, it no longer shows up in my groups tab. And that is how you manage, invite, or delete a group. That's it from me. My name is Jamie McCann, and if you do want any more help, simply drop me an email at jamie@sceneabounds.co.uk. Thank you. Welcome back to Live at 5, and this is a very, very special show because it is our first show live at the studio, and we are so excited with our guest. Genuinely cannot express how excited I am.
I know, it's fantastic, and for her to come here to the studios as well, it's going to be very special. And so yeah, we hope you're going to enjoy the show. Now Jamie, do your thing, introduce the lovely guest.
So look, loads of us, or loads of you, know that I am not a parent. I'm not a father, and to be quite frankly, I don't understand why anyone would. It's a horrific experience. However, without that experience, you know, we wouldn't be able to bring these lovely little darlings into the world. But what happens when you become a mother? Your life changes. Everything you once knew to be normal, all of a sudden, isn't normal anymore. So we're joined by the lovely, the gorgeous Maria Newman, who's going to talk about how she helps mothers around the globe reconnect with who they are. Maria, welcome to the show. It is so lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Jamie and Charlotte. It's lovely to be in your new studio.
I know, right? I know.
So professional.
Well, you know, we don't muck about. We don't muck about over here at Live at 5, and it's lovely. But you know what's really nice is to be actually have you here with us and identifying with what you're doing. We've worked with you for some time now, and I'm keep chucking in the word identifying. Have you noticed how I've done that? Just keep
really good. Yeah. I like that repetition of what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So talking about identifying, why don't we talk about how you help people reconnect with their identity? Because when you become a mother, you do kind of lose this a little bit.
Oh my word, you do lose it, and it's really funny because you don't even realise that you've lost it, which sounds a bit crazy in itself. But before you become a mum, you know you are yourself. I am Maria, I'm no one else. But all of a sudden you become a mum and you are referred to as Joe's mum or Bob's mum, whoever your child is. And that starts this journey of stopping being you as an individual and becoming a mum, which actually being a mum is a role. It's not you as an individual. And because everybody's referring to you as whatever, my children, Leah and Luca, Leah's mum, Luca's mum, nice to meet you. I've lost my name, so therefore I forget who I am because I am mum. I am there to serve my children, which, yes, we are there to raise our children, but it's our life too. It's up to us to live our life in the way we want to live our lives because we are their role model. We are there not to just go to them, well, this is what I would like for you in life. Please go and experience all these wonderful things. Please go and do all these wonderful things. Well, if we're not doing that, what modelling are they going to see? They're going to be saying, well,
they become a little carbon copy of you, don't they, with their own little personality, right? But it is, and it's very important because, I mean, look, I can't relate because I'm not a parent, right? But I can relate with the change of identity, okay? And it happens when you meet someone, you then become, you know, Charlotte's partner, and then later Charlotte's fiance, and then later Charlotte's husband. Yeah, well, the same obviously for Charlotte. So same thing happens. But you know, there's a lot of pressure.
I think it's also happening a lot in the workplace.
And I also, because I came out of a really long relationship, and all of a sudden, after 25 years, I had no idea who I was anymore, because there was always the item. So I think everyone can identify in this, whether you're a parent or, you know, whatever situation you're in, you sometimes really completely lose your identity and think, who am I?
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. And that's what happened to me before I became a mum, and I was in the corporate world. So I remember going to an interview when I was working at Rolls-Royce, and I'd only just been there probably about a year. And I went to the interview, and then later on I went to see my HR manager to get some feedback. And she said, so you did really well, but there was one comment, and they said that you're like a little puppy. You can be a bit overwhelming. Bearing in mind, I'm working for an engineering company, majority of men. I can appreciate how I could come across as a bit in your face. But that was me. And the thing is, because I wanted to do really, really well, thanks for laughing, Jamie, because I wanted to do well in my career, I took that feedback on board, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do well in my career, maybe I should tone back a bit. And by the time I made the decision to leave Rolls-Royce, I had literally put this straitjacket on myself, because I'd become my own doing, my choice. I'd become this person that I thought I needed to be to fit in and to do well. And that is the same in life. And that is the same with mums. You know, we're raising our children. We want the best for them. And why not? You know, they are a part of us. Physically, they are a part of us, because we have had them.
But I think it's like,
I told you beat them.
but also I think you're right, because I think we can all identify with losing our identity. But when you become a mother, it's the pressure. I was just going to say, it's the pressure of other people, and all of a sudden you are responsible for the little person, and it often falls on the mother to be at home, and you know, for various reasons. It can be the father as well.
What you shouldn't do.
Yeah, and I think you really kind of feel that you can't be yourself anymore, because you have to just look after this little baby that you don't really know what to do with. So yeah,
that turns into a gremlin when you after 12. But it is true though, right? And you're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on. You're put into this world where all of a sudden, and this is why I'm not a parent, because I never wanted this responsibility, and I've always openly said it. I mean, look, I joke and laugh. I adore children, right? I really do, and I've invested a lot of my life into making sure that, you know, the future is there for young people, because let's be honest, they've got a hell of a job to take on. But you are given, at some point, you are handed this little creature, right, who is unable to open their eyes, and all of a sudden you are thrown into this world, whether you be a mum or a dad, right, and you've got responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Real life responsibilities. I mean, I have a dog. That's bad enough. Right? So all of a sudden, you're in this pressurized kind of environment. You're being taken out of your work life. So the people that you knew, the people that you did recognize with, the identity that you had created, okay? You're out of that identity all of a sudden. And now, you know, you're not getting up in the morning and putting your face on and making sure your hair is okay. You're getting up in the morning to feed this screaming little creature. And all of a sudden, you're just like, what am I doing? I don't know how to do. Well, I certainly would be anyway. I'd be like a rabbit in the headlights.
But that is common.
So it's really easy to lose that identity.
Yeah.
And then your name changes to Mum.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
yes.
Maria.
Yeah. But so what I would like to do is to talk to women before they become a mum. And like, you know, remembering my experience, preparing for your baby coming into the world, we think about all of the practical things. So, you know, how do you look after your child? You know, what do you need to think about in the home? Where's your baby gonna sleep? Have you got all the right bits and pieces for when your baby comes into the world? But what we don't do is we don't think about how, like, mentally we are going to prepare for that.
It's kind of just expected, isn't it? You think, because it's a natural thing, and I think this is the problem sometimes, because Nobody speaks about it because, as you know, I'm not a mother, but a lot of my friends will come to me because they feel that they can feel safe to talk about it with somebody who has not perhaps gone through that. Because with all the other mums and all the other people in their circle, they've been now taken away from, like I said, a home probably on maternity, and all of a sudden they are just mum. And they don't have anybody else to reach out to, because then they're a bad mother and they don't know what they're doing. And society puts in all these things into, it should just be natural to become a mum. It should just be the most natural thing in the world. And then I think that is why people don't prepare for it. And that's where you can really help someone, isn't it? To prepare on that kind of mental journey that you go through beforehand. Because, the hormones and things that happens as well, it's all over the place, isn't it?
It is. And this is the thing. I think there is so much pressure to be natural. There is a natural thing that if for whatever reason you don't feel like it's coming to you, mothering is not just happening for you, you think, well, oh my word, there's something wrong with me. And like we were saying before we aired the show, Lauren down the road, she's got it all sorted. She knows what she's doing. Well, as soon as she gets up, she's like dressed and her hair is ready. She's got makeup on. She's baked bread ready for breakfast. And then, her children are so well behaved and blah, 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 blah. But we don't know what's going on. We only see superficially what's going on. And I think there's two things here. First of all, it's our choice how we view what's going on, what we make of what's going on, and how we decide to respond to what's going on. And as human beings, I think we're very good at reacting, so that we can say everything going on in the outside world is making me feel like I'm a bad mum. What I want to do with mums is to say, forget about the outside world. It doesn't matter what Lauren down the road is doing. She's none of our business. How do you want to be a mother? What does mothering mean to you? If your mother doesn't like it, she needs to deal with it. That's not your problem. If your sister thinks that's not how you should be a mother, that's her problem to deal with. Decide on how you want to be a mother and go do that. Because that is going to be what's best for you, and it's going to be what's best for your family. Yeah. And this is the message that I want to get out there to mums. Doesn't matter what everybody else says, you decide what it looks like for you and how you want it to be, and go do that.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. And so that is the message, the first part of this show, and we're definitely going to have you back on to talk about other elements of what you do. But if you are sitting there and you're listening to the show and you're going, I think this is me actually, I'm in this position, or you are going into this position, you're going, oh, actually, I never thought about those elements. Then Maria is definitely the person you need to speak to. So Maria, if someone is looking to connect with you and they are looking to reach out to you, how can they do that?
So it would be great for you to connect with me on Facebook. You just have to type in either Maria Newman or my old name, Maria on a Break, and you will find me. I am on Facebook, I am on Instagram, LinkedIn, I have a podcast called What the Mum, YouTube. You will find me, and it'd be lovely to connect, and let's carry on the conversation.
Fantastic. And that's all we have time for. So I want to say a massive, massive thank you to my lovely co-host, the gorgeous Charlotte, and of course our amazing guest, the wonderful Maria Newman. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to See No Bounds platform. So today I'm going to take you around your profile. So as you can see here, I'm on the profile page, but to find it, you need to go up here. You go to You Are Logged In and your name, and next to it is the little icon. You click on the icon and it will bring up the drop down. You simply press on your profile and it will take you to this screen. Now there's lots that you can do around here where you can edit and adjust, and it will always go directly to your profile first. You can add listings, you can view your favorites, and you can view your listings directly. You can also add events, you can monitor your events, you can look at events that you have booked onto, and you will also have access to your events card. As well as that, you have your activity wall.
Now, when you click on the activity wall, you will see that you've got different options that you can filter through your activity wall to see what you've been up to. You can edit, update, and adapt your profile. And again, you can access your listings, you can see your notifications, you can view any groups that you have, you can have a look at any messages that you've either sent or received, or you can actually create messages. You can view your friends directly, you will see your favorites and in a list format. You can access your billing details, and here you can change a whole range of things. Then any invitations that you've sent people, you can view them in this part as well. You can see any reviews that you have left or that you have received. And there's a whole tab for settings. This very cleverly is where you change your password. So that's just a quick insight of your profile. There will be more videos to show you what each tab does individually. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly at jamie@senobounds.co.uk.